I ask that you watch this video with an open mind. This isn't me shitting on anyone or anything, this is me as an ex-person from social justice pointing out the billions of problems that social justice has and why it does not work and why it will never work with this ideology. So let me first explain why social justice was appealing to me, because I think that's going to give a lot of insight into what kind of movement it is. Social justice and all the branches like feminism, trans activism, all of that kind of stuff really appealed to me because I'm a minority, I'm trans, and it seemed like it was an easy way to kind of shift the blame from myself, that my own life was shitty, onto someone else. Now, I'm not saying that trans people don't have shitty lives because of society. Of course there's that factor that it's harder to be trans in society, it just is. But that doesn't mean you have to blame every single cis person, which is exactly what social justice does. It creates an us against them mentality. And when you're talking about trans people versus cis people, that's 99% of the population versus 1% of the population. Now when you say it like that, it doesn't sound very smart, does it? So why did I buy into it? Because social justice feeds you this ideology that we don't need cis people, and the people who are good are gonna be our allies, and all of the people who are transphobic bigots are gonna say that social justice is bad. They're gonna be the ones who argue with us. They're gonna be the ones who don't accept what we say at face value. Conversely, if there are any trans people in the movement who question anything that we have to say, we're gonna cast them out because there's no dialogue allowed, and if you don't believe everything we say, you're a racist, a bigot, a transphobe, etc. So I was like, shit, okay, if I want to be in this, I can't question anything. Let me rephrase that. Question anything critically. They're okay with like certain questions of like, oh, this doesn't really make sense to me, can you explain this to me? So they'll explain it to you with their twisted logic. But if you point out that their logic is just twisting facts and information to fit their agenda, that's when they get really mad and that's when they call you out. This is the most counterproductive way of getting people into your cult that I've ever seen in my entire life. You know, at least when Mormons try to recruit people, they actually talk to people and they're like, hey, you know, this is the guy who invented Mormonism. Okay, honestly, I don't know that much about Mormonism, but I am comparing them because it is very similar to an organized religion. It is based on pseudoscience. If you question it, you get cast out. If you criticize it, you really get cast out, to the point where they urge everybody that's close to you to cut you off, which is what happened to me, and I'll make another video about that. And the final thing, and this is really the most important thing, is that social justice, the social justice movement, will not let you have dialogue with people who criticize the social justice movement. See, if social justice was secure in its ideology, they would let you discuss them with whoever, right? Because all of these ideologies, such as that having a dating preference is transphobic, because of all this bullshit that is so easily disproven by just having a conversation, they don't want you to have a conversation. It's not the recognized truth by the majority of society. It's alternative truth, you know? It's everything that the far left complains about the far right. They are doing just opposite. And I find that very telling of what kind of movement it is. So that's why I left social justice, and those are the problems I see with it. So I'm gonna start making videos about this, because ever since I've left social justice, all people have done is try to silence me. So with that, I respond with the opposite, in that I'm not going to be silenced. I'm going to be speaking up about the truth when I see it. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys at all times. I think it's really critical that people like me speak up, because there is so much misinformation, especially in the trans community. It is so prevalent in the trans community. The majority of trans people that I have met have bought into this social justice ideology because it is so hard to be trans. And when you're given this movement on a silver platter that basically says, all blame is absolved, all of your problems are because of cis people, you don't have to take responsibility for your actions, it's fine, it's very appealing, and that is why I bought into it. And that is why so many other people are buying into it. But I really urge you guys to look at the facts, to look at the truth, and think critically when you see something that doesn't look right. I know my views have changed dramatically, and you might be like, well, why should I listen to you if your views have changed so dramatically? You don't have to listen to me, but what I do urge you to do is listen to everybody and form an opinion based on that. Get out of your echo chamber, get away from the people who just agree with you and listen to some opposing opinions. And listen to them with an open mind. Don't go in it with a bias. Listen to it like, this might make sense and this might resonate with me. It might not, but it also might. And if you are someone like me who is speaking up, making YouTube videos, whatever, please let me know. I'd really like to follow you. I'd really like to talk with you. I'd really like to figure out how we can kind of make this more main spread. Just opening up a dialogue, not indoctrinating people into my beliefs like social justice does. I just want people to listen with an open mind. That is all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it around. See you guys later, and have a good week.